Sorry, my room is low-key kind of a mess right now. I decided to film before cleaning. Today's gonna be a big cleaning day for me. I have a very exciting news. My little sister is coming to visit me this weekend. Oh, it feels so good to say that. And I haven't seen her. She's my half sister, but I don't care about that. That's my sister. And she's coming to visit, and I haven't seen her since we were kids. So I'm very excited. And I still wanted to get a video out to you before that happened. So I'm sorry. Excuse the chair full of laundry that I have yet to put away and my crazy closet. That is not what these videos are about. So, like I said, cut me some slack. But today's topic, I've always got some up my sleeve, but today's topic is going to be about what does my ex think of me. I did want to put this little intro out first because I was a little bit reluctant to make this video only because I feel like I've found on my own journey going to that place of like ruminating over our exes is not the best place to be, and we shouldn't live in the past. So I do want to put that out there. I want this to be used for healing and for good, and not for people to kind of dig themselves into an emotional hole over it. So keep that in mind if you feel like you're in a great place to watch this and it's more about like final messages or closure you might need, then fine. But if you feel like you're not in the best place to watch something like this, maybe don't. So I love you, and I'll see you in your pile. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your spiritual besties. Hello, my loves. Here are your piles. Today we have 5. Spirit wanted me to do 7, but I was like, I think 5's good because this topic was already controversial for me. So pile 1, we have the Druzy Rhodion. I think it's like Rhodionite. This is one that really helps with channeling and bringing angelic guidance through. So definitely paid way too much for that one. And then selenite is pile 2. Pile 3 is Caribbean calcite. Pile 4, we have rainbow auric quartz. And pile 5, this used to be a tower, but it's blue apatite, and I gave half of it to someone else who needed it. So love you. See you in your pile. Do whatever you gotta do. Take a deep breath, pause the video. See you in a minute. Bye. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading on what does my ex think of me. Honestly, we're just gonna get into it. Today I'm using the Luna Soul Tarot for tarot cards. I love this deck. This is what the box looks like. And then I'm also using, I'm so excited about this, the Spiritual Meaning of Birds Oracle deck. This just came out. Erin Murphy Hiscock, she also has a witch deck oracle, or green witch deck oracle, which I also have, but we're not going to use that today. And this is what the back of the bird cards look like. They're so pretty, so pretty. And then I'm also, I don't know, Spirit kept telling me to use the Wild Unknown Archetype Oracle cards, so we're gonna do that as well. I think I'm only gonna pull one for each. So we will do that, but okay, we'll do this, and then I'm also going to pick one Black Moon astrology card that is significant, maybe one or two, that's significant for your situation. I like bringing astrology into things. I feel like I found a lot of resonance with astrology in relation to the spiritual cycles in my life. So I think it's always a great tool and one that we should definitely utilize as often as possible. So we'll be doing that as well. Okay, but let's do this. So I think I am going to start with tarot cards today. So Spirit, tap me into pile 1. What does their ex think of them? I'm feeling very emotional. I'm hearing Tate McRae's song, I Know Love. I love that song, man. Oh. Sick in the morning, down on your knees, so fucked up, falling for me. I know love, I know love. I'm pretty sure part of that is definitely off key, but it's early. It's still kind of early for me. So, alright, Spirit, tap me into what pile 1's ex thinks of them. Oh, good. I'm glad you can kind of see the cards today. I don't want to take a 9 of these. I think I'm going to do 8. Okay. Wow. The Magician. Tap me into pile 1's, what their ex thinks of them. Sorry, sometimes it takes me a minute. I almost want to pull some oracle cards too. I think I'm just gonna lay it all out, and then, because Spirit had said to me, look at the whole thing, like look at it as a whole. Because at first I was gonna separate, like, this is you, this is them, but they're kind of like, look at it as a whole. They keep giving me too many cards. Come on, guys. Where's pile 1's ex thinking about them? Alright, fine. I almost feel like this person still feels like you guys could work on things. And I don't know if like this person was like the provider financially in your relationship, because with the Eight of Discs reversed, this talks about like not working hard. I honestly almost feel like this situation is not finished yet, where it's like they're gonna come back around. I don't like saying things like that if I don't feel like it's true. But some of the blockages here, I feel like have to do with like not being able to let go of the past. So maybe you broke up because like one of you felt like you weren't ready. I feel like it was you, honestly. Like you weren't you were pouring your energy into things that like didn't matter like anymore, or people that aren't good for you, situations. Like it's almost like you didn't lay this to the past, because with Two of Wands I always see this as like taking stock of like how far we've come, but that can also be like overthinking about the past, and seeing how far left we still have to go. So there's an energy here of like overthinking a lot about the past. And then Eight of Cups is like not walking, like this is in the reverse, so it's like you're not letting go of something. But this, the energy of the connection itself, it's like there's a lot of good cards. There's Six of Cups, the Hierophant, Nine of Cups, Death. Well, the Magician is underneath. I feel like maybe this situation, like you guys broke up because you guys kind of had to like do some growing outside of the relationship. But I do definitely feel like you guys will be rekindling at some point. Even if it is just to kind of, how do I say this, bring full closure to the situation. Yeah, because we have Nine of Cups here. I'm not, honestly though, I'm like, maybe you just went through a breakup. Like maybe you guys just, or like maybe you're just on a break right now. I'm not feeling good though. Like I'm finding it very hard. Like I feel like when you're emotionally distraught, like that's how I feel. It's very hard to like actually ground this energy and like tap into this energy. I almost feel like honestly you're self-sabotaging right now. So what I would say, like you need to focus on letting go of the past right now, because I feel like your ex like wants, they still want this situation. They still are like willing to work on things with you, but I feel like there needs to be like, I don't, either therapy or just like some self-reflection and like willingness to grow and improve on some things, on some issues within the relationship. Also, there's this card Magpie, which is hoarding, distraction, balance, and that also gave me the vibe of like not being able to let go of the past. There's like, this could also be like, you know, things that you experienced in past relationships aside from this one. Oh, the Father just came out of, hang on, let me grab it. It fell on the floor. Oh, there's two here. Okay. Oh, there's four. Holy shit. The Father, Maiden, I'll put that first. Gnosis, Kairos. And then at the back we have the Hunter. These issues that you're having too could also be based on, I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is like the feminine energy in the situation. If you're traditional, you'd be the woman. There's issues around like your father. Maybe you had an absent father, so you attracted a lot of relationships with men that were not good to you, even abusive. If your own father was abusive to you, like that's why you were carrying out these themes, to work on them and heal them. And it's almost like someone is being presented to you that's actually like willing to have a solid foundation from you, but it's like you're not letting yourself get to a place where like you can let go of the past and like see that this person really does want the best for you and like is in it for the long haul and really wants things to work out between you and is willing to put in the work. Like that feels unfamiliar because it's something that for you it is unfamiliar, but it doesn't make it wrong. I think right now, like I said, you really need to pour into yourself right now. And maybe there's like something coming through about like set like goals and like make some hobbies, find some hobbies that like you enjoy, that you feel pour back into you, and establish yourself as an individual aside from like your relationships. Like find that wholeness aside from your relationships and allow yourself to like, you don't have to rekindle with like people that have hurt you or reach out to them or any of that. I actually encourage you not to do those things. But maybe reflect about like what you needed and didn't get as a child. What, some things that if your father is not in your life that you feel like you need to say to him, write him a long letter. And then when you're in like a less emotional place, reread it and just like, or even reread it afterwards from like an outside perspective and just like pinpoint, like look at all your past relationships and look at your relationship to your father, and I bet you're gonna notice there are a lot of patterns there. And then when you're done sorting through all of that, I would take this ex, or person that you're on a break with, and like kind of put them in a side by side, not to compare and like be like, well, this person has had this but this new person doesn't. Not even that. It's just more like, what does this person do right that none of the other people could? Really, legitimately. Like, how does this person make me feel safe? How does this person make me feel held? How does this person make me feel like provided for? What else do I need? Write all these things down. You're gonna have a journaling sesh. Pick a day. Look at the weather. Pick a rainy day soon, and just have a deep ass journaling session and let these things out. It's okay if you cry about it too. Like it doesn't mean like you failed. I don't know why I want to say that, but it doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean that I also want to say, like, it doesn't mean that you're not lovable just because you've got some shit you gotta work through. We're human. This is why we come here. We come here to go through shit, to work through it. So give yourself some grace and give this other person some grace too, by the way. Because I feel like this is really a promising situation, but you need to take some time for yourself and like get through that. Like not time with yourself, but get through some of these things that I'm telling you to like focus on. But let me pull an astrology card. What is pile one's ex How do they feel about them? Pluto transformation. Haha. It's crazy because we have the death card and we have Pluto transformation, which also rules death. So I feel like this relationship and 12th house, this is very spiritual in nature. I don't even want to say karmic though. I feel like, yeah, like even good relationships can be karmic, but this relationship is shifting you in a really big way. But you also have to make the conscious effort and decision to allow this. To allow this. And to allow yourself to receive the things that you deserve, even if they don't feel comfortable for you to receive at first. 12th house can also talk about twin flames. I don't like using that term. And sometimes that relationship is not even like something that should be glorified and romanticized, because it's not necessarily like somebody that's going to be there forever. But it is something that really, really, really becomes a catalyst for us to grow and be on the right path. And I wouldn't be surprised if you felt very lost in your life recently. So I definitely want you, and look, even behind this is Gemini. I think Gemini energy is very intellectual. And weirdly enough, allow yourself to feel your emotions, but I do feel like here it's that's why I recommended the journaling and the reflection and the writing the letter to your father, because I think that you need to intellectualize your emotions in order to allow yourself to better reflect on them, and like kind of get clear on like where you want to go from here, and really just get clear on these things for yourself. But I love you. That's all I have for you. I hope this helps. I hope you got what you needed from it. Don't forget to like, comment down how things go for you, and also any ideas or suggestions you want me to read upon soon. And also, don't forget to subscribe and share with your spiritual besties. Love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading on sorry, I have like soot on me from this candle that I lit. This is your this is your reading for what does my ex think of me. I had mentioned in the intro, and I'll go over it really quickly again. This is not for a crappy abusive relationship that you are like having trouble leaving. These messages are meant to bring through clarity, closure, if there was anything left unsaid, finality in that, and also just a sense of accomplishment if we've truly learned the lesson in that. So this is for healing. This is not for, like I said, this is not a tool that should be abused, put it that way. So if you feel like maybe you're not in the right headspace to hear messages about this person, then I think that you should use your discernment and move accordingly. So anyway, now that that's over, we will get into the messages. I'm going to be using several decks today. Most of them are... 2 of them are just going to have like 1 or 2 cards pulled. And then I'm going to be using the Luna Soul Tarot deck, which is like probably the first tarot deck I've ever fallen in love with. And the Spiritual Meaning of Birds Oracle deck, because it just came out and I am obsessed with it. I love birds. That's like my thing. One of my things. birds have always really stood out to me, so. And I'm also going to be using the Wild Unknown Archetype Oracle deck. And the Black Moon Astrology deck as well, which I just shuffled. Okay, so let's get into your oracle cards. I mean your tarot cards, I'm sorry. I usually don't do tarot first because I like oracle cards better. Probably because I'm an empath, but I want to get into tarot. So Spirit, tap me into pile 2. The collective of pile 2. What does their ex think of them? What is pile 2's? Okay, wow, we have cards already. Wow. Oh, this is cool. Let's see. Okay, let me see. What does pile 2's ex think of them? That. Alright, I'm trying to get all the cards in view, so I should probably, there we go. Beautiful. Wow, they're giving it. They are giving it today. Spirit, what does pile 2's ex think of them? Oh, nice. Okay, perfect. Wow, they're not playing around today. They're like, all right, here you go. Ace of Cups at the back of the deck. That's lit. I'll leave that here so you guys can see it. I have to use my computer because my phone is. Wow. Okay. First thing I want to say, you're awesome, pile 2. Like, you've done so much work on yourself, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter, man, woman, both, whatever, they, them. This person sees you as, like, honestly, like, an amazing person, somebody who is, I almost feel like this situation was like you guys met in order to learn a lesson so you could help each other heal from, like, the past, even if you weren't, like, end all be all. This person, because I do feel like this person themselves, like, we have the Knight of Swords and it's reversed. I almost feel like they just weren't quite at that point where they were really the caliber of partner that you deserved, or that you want, or both really, that you deserved and that you wanted. And they did recognize that, so I do feel like that might have played a role in, like, how this situation ultimately panned out. But I do feel like you really gave this person hope again about, like, relationships in general, and that, like, you're somebody who's, like, very decisive in your thinking. You know what they think, you know what you want. You're a master manifester also, because we have the Magician here. You're somebody that, like, gets what they want, and not even in, like, a bad way. It's just, like, you work hard. You're great with people. You're very emotionally intelligent. You're very nurturing. You're great at communicating. But like I said, I just don't think that this person was able to give you everything that you deserved. And I think that they also recognized that. And sometimes it really just comes down to, like, we're not compatible with certain people ultimately. I do feel like this person would probably try to manifest you back also because of the Magician and the Ace of Cups, but I feel like that ship has sailed. Also, I think you're somebody that, like, even if you have a lot of options, you're not like it, your ego is not fed by that. Like it's just like, okay, like you can like me all you want, but it doesn't mean that means anything, or that you're even equipped to match what I have to bring to the table. So they definitely see you as high value. That's the vibe that this is giving for sure. I do want to say, like, I don't know, this is definitely, these readings are going definitely a different angle than what I was expecting for sure so far. They may, I don't know if I said this already, but they may try to come back and offer you more in the future. Oh yeah, maybe I did say that, but again, like, I don't know, Spirit wants to emphasize that, I guess, like, that ship has sailed. For you anyway, like that ship has definitely sailed. And because I also feel like you're kind of the person that's like, it might take you time to like kind of gather your bearings after you move on and like from a relationship, because you genuinely really care and like give your all to people. But I also feel like once you've healed from something, like you're not interested in like entertaining it again. I keep hearing like this person knows like I want to say fucked up, but it doesn't feel like there was like foul play in terms of like cheating. I just feel like I think there was like immaturity. Maybe you guys were maybe not even really young, but just younger or less experienced, less evolved when you were together. But you really made this person feel like seen and heard, and like I said, you gave them hope again, that like good still exists in the world and quality still exists in the world. Spirit, tap me into pile 2, what their ex thinks of them. What does pile 2's ex think of them? What does pile 2's ex think of them? Sorry guys, I'm like trying to maneuver these so you can see them, because I know I like seeing the cards, and even though I'm having technical difficulties right now with my phone storage, I still want to be able to have you guys see the reading too. That's why I moved to the living room. Okay. Spirit, tap me into pile 2. What is there? Oh, okay. We have the grackle, the nuthatch. What does pile 2's ex think about them? I said only take that one. Okay. What does pile 2's ex think about them? Okay. Cormorant. Sorry, these cards. I think I aggressively shuffle like when I bend them. Inherent patience, focus, self-reliance. Yeah, this person sees you as somebody who's like you go after what you want and you get it. That's like the Magician too, like master manifester. Like when you want something, there's a lot about hoarding here. Okay, maybe you're good with your money. Maybe you're a little, honestly, maybe you're a little too frugal. Yeah. I don't know if you're like connected to spirit a lot, like feel like very connected to spirit. But I got a message came through. This might only be for a couple of you, but like sometimes I also feel like they kind of saw you as this person who is like very head in the clouds, because and you know what, this was where I think the lack of compatibility came in. Like even like you're a master manifester, yes, you like you're high value, you had good ideas, you committed to things, you were able to bring things in. But it was like, that was like the magic of you, I feel like. Like, you were not somebody that like conforms to society. Like, we do have the star here as well. And with that energy coming in, it's almost like you trust that, like, and you've seen this too, like you could testify to this, like, Spirit works with you. Spirit has always worked with you. Spirit helps you bring all these things in, all of your manifestations in. And I don't feel like you're necessarily the person that's like gung-ho about like, you know, like having like a 9 to 5 or like conforming to what society deems as like acceptable and valuable per se. Okay, we'll take, they've been giving me more than once, so we'll take it. Like, you definitely move to the beat of your own drum. We've got North Node, life's purpose. Very ambitious. We have Leo here. We have 8th house, endings and beginnings. Yeah, this relationship, like, even though they didn't necessarily understand you, and that's where I think the lack of compatibility came in, I don't feel like they necessarily like completely understood you from certain, like, after a certain place, because they weren't at your level emotionally and spiritually. But they do hold you in high regard for sure. And I also feel like you might be in a time now where like they might even be watching you from afar or like checking up on you on social media low key, and they see like how you've completely transformed since you guys have been together, like, because we have the life's purpose, we have Leo, so that to me seems like following your heart, shining your light, like really getting out there, getting after what it is that you want, being seen. And the 8th house is like the death card. So there's been a complete transformation. Like I said, I feel like this relationship wasn't something that has been like recent though. I feel like there's been a good chunk of time between you. This is something where I would say 40-20 hindsight. 40-20 hindsight. Not even 20-20, but 40-20. And they definitely, like I said, I feel like they hold a torch for you. Like, you know, I don't think this person ever, like, stopped caring about you. But I think, like, after a certain point, like I said, there was just a lack of compatibility. And I think they might even, well, truthfully, I feel like they might have let you go. And at that point, I might have mentioned this already, because they knew they couldn't be what you needed. They knew they couldn't be what you deserved. And I actually, even though like sometimes things just don't work out, I really like this person's energy towards you, honestly. Like, I feel like they wish you well. Like, they have no ill will towards you. If anything, like, you may have inspired them to just like grow and do better next time around. Okay, the stone. The father. What the fudge? The father card was in the last reading too. I feel like, even though this is not like how quote unquote they view you, I feel like this person might have actually helped you start healing your father wounds, whether you were conscious of it or not. Because I do feel like at some point, like with the stone, like when you first entered this relationship, you might have been like a little cold and detached. And this person really helped to break your heart open. Yeah, definitely. Anima Mundi. The warrior, yeah. Definitely, I feel like a lot of these relationships are like catalytic in their own way. Wow. All right, pile 2. I think that's a good place to leave it. I love you. Thank you for coming, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to me if you haven't done so already, and share with your spiritual besties. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so hopefully I can get monetized and become a YouTuber full time, do what I love, and bring amazing messages to you, and also other amazing spiritual projects that I've got in my back pocket for the future. So I love you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you have not done so already, definitely subscribe to my channel. Drop me a like and comment. Oh, this is cute. Sorry, I've never seen that card before. I'm just shuffling the last deck. Anyway, this is your reading on what does your ex think of you. We've had some really interesting messages come through so far, so I'm excited to see what's up. What it is, what's up? Bruh. Okay. Let's see. So today I'm going to start with tarot. I usually don't. Also, don't forget to check out the intro if you haven't already about just my little like disclaimer on this specific message in this reading. I'll give you a brief rundown before we start. Basically, just if you're not in a good headspace or you've been in a toxic relationship, and this is someone that you should not go back to, I really would use your discernment when it comes to watching this reading, especially if you're not in a good place. These messages are meant to bring healing and closure. Maybe bridge the gap between anything that was left unsaid, maybe. Or just like, yeah, or things that like maybe either party didn't know how to like express at the time. So please, use your discretion. If this message isn't for you right now, pick a different pile, or maybe don't watch if like I said, you're not in the right headspace. These are meant to be healing. Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, let's begin. So Spirit, tap me into pile 3. What does their ex think of them? What does pile 3's ex think of them? Thank you. Okay. I'm actually trying to... Oh wait, this is... Guys, oh my gosh. Spirit. What does pile 3's ex think of them? Oh wow, they're giving me a lot today. And then this one popped up, so we'll use that. Wow. Why? Oh my gosh, this pile, like card-wise, is very similar to, I think it was it pile 2 or pile 1? I don't remember, but it was one of those. Sorry guys, when I'm channeling, it's hard sometimes because, yeah, I can't really put a thought together. And this full moon has been getting me. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna get a couple oracle cards down because I have a message that's coming through, but I want to clarify something first. So, Spirit, tap me into pile 3. What does their ex think of them? What does pile 3's ex? Okay. Very interesting. What does pile 3's ex think of them, Spirit? What does pile 3's ex think of them? I don't know if you guys like used to sing a lot or just be funny, but or maybe I'm just being a goofball, but usually I'll embody the energy. So okay, owl at the back. Okay, I'm pretty sure I get it now. I think, so at first, they were taking me to the energy of like, there wasn't an equal give and take here, for sure. I almost feel like this person, like at a core level, maybe even like from a higher perspective or their higher self, understood like what a blessing you were in their life, like all that you had to offer. But I feel like, honestly, I think the way this ended was like this person like almost couldn't hold your light. Like they didn't know how to hold on to your light, and like they almost felt threatened by, like, I want to say like your success or your purity. I mean, there's so many things, like, yeah, look at that. Mercury retrograde reinvention. I do feel like you definitely made this person think. You made them think maybe for the first time ever really what it about, like, their shortcomings. I feel like you triggered them, but I don't think this was like in a toxic way on your part. I don't think this was like intentional. I think that, like, honestly, like, you made this person honestly feel, and this isn't your fault either. Like, I don't think it's anything that like you did intentionally. I think it's just like you triggered this person because they had wounds of their own. Like, I heard abandonment wounds, like insecurities. Maybe they had issues with like mother wounds or father wounds, because we have the moon here. So it takes me to like mother wounds. It could be father wounds, but I feel like this person didn't know how to receive love. Because I almost feel like, and they felt like, you know, they were giving you enough at the time, but you knew like this wasn't enough for you. And I feel like, honestly, there was definitely an essence here of like the way that this fell out, whatever, was like they cheated, or I don't know. It feels more like them. It could have been you, because maybe you felt like this is a dead end situation, like I'm gonna cut my losses, and like maybe you found somebody better suited, or you were just like in the moment, you were just like, F this. I do feel like I said this was more on their part. It could have been you too, like I said. That's a message maybe for a couple people. I never condone cheating, but I understand like shit happens. We have certain experiences to teach us lessons and also to shift us onto the right path. So nothing, even if things are not like morally sound that happen to us, or we might do, like, sometimes they bring us to the right place. I'm a big believer in that. So, I do feel like you knew deep down, though. You knew deep down, like, and it's crazy because I feel like you always put your best foot forward. You always put your best foot forward with this person. And I feel like you really were, like, ready to be all in, but it just didn't pan out that way. Like, I feel like maybe you even thought that this was going to be, like, your end-all, be-all. But this person was not giving you enough. And I feel like at this point in time, you finally learned how to set boundaries about that. And, like, you started realizing your worth. And how to just step away from things that don't serve you, people that just can't meet you where you're at. And like, it doesn't make these people terrible people. Though I'm not gonna lie, like, this person feels selfish to me. Like, as soon as I saw this with, like, some of the other cards, I couldn't put it into words before because of energies right now. But that's exactly what I felt. Selfish. That's how this person was. Very selfish. And you're right for moving on from it. Like, I'm really proud of you, actually. But I do feel like this person almost feels like I said, like, there's almost an entitlement here. Like, they felt entitled to what you have to offer. But truthfully, I don't think that this person, like, even truly understood, like, what it was that they were sabotaging. That's the best way to put this. Yeah. Wow, we have the castle, the prayer, the starborn, and I almost feel like, okay, so with the castle, it almost makes me feel like there was a tower moment. And with the prayer, it's like you kind of knew, because they're actually showing me a situation that happened to me years ago. And there was, at this point, there was a moment of, a big moment of surrender where I was like, fine. Because I knew the divine was telling, and I'm just telling you this because that's what they're advising me to talk about. But I was like, I literally remembered that exact moment. I don't think I'll ever forget that exact moment because of how profound the situation was. But I just remember myself being in my room where I lived at the time, literally looking up at my ceiling and telling him, fine, I get it. I know. You want me to be alone right now. Like, I know. And so, you know, I had like a bit of a tower moment, but the strength of my relationship with the divine that this eventually brought me towards was like invaluable. Who I became after this, it took years, it was years in the making, but who I became after this was like, I look back and I realize like, even, and this might even be how you feel, like I couldn't let go of this person for so long. And I think the reason why was because I had such a hard time of letting go of and letting die that past version of me. Because that meant I fully was surrendering. I was fully giving into change. I was fully giving into the unknown, my purpose, like really aligning with that. And like letting go of like the narratives that were like pushed and forced on me. And it could be things that were like lifetimes in the making. You know what I mean? Like lifetimes of conditioning, lifetimes of these like karmic wounds and trauma. A lot of the time, like when we sign contracts and we go through initiations, we go through the spiritual path, it's like we sign up in one lifetime. Some of us sign up for more, some of us sign up for less. Some of us want to do a lot of it in one lifetime, and do it in the beginning. but we sign up to like go through all these karmic contracts. And like I said, I don't know why I feel like these situations are very similar. Like you held like such a light for this person, even though you know what they did to you. You know that they were not honest, that you know that they were not faithful, but I think it's because this situation brought you to your knees and just put you back into touch with your higher self and your heart space. And like it just feels like you finally settled karma that you had been trying to settle for lifetimes. And circling back to like a lot of the things that we sign up for, like some of these things like have followed us literally for lifetimes until we're finally in a position or decide to come into a certain lifetime and address these things and heal them. And the only way we can do that is by literally like charging at the beast head on, put it that way, like looking it in the eye. So I feel like even though this is like how they see you, like Spirit wants me to talk about, like, I want to say also like job well done. Like you've done such an incredible thing. Like you broke the spell. You broke free from something that had been a challenge for you for a very, very, very long time. And catapulted you into something even greater. So even no matter what your life looks like on the outside right now, like I do want to say like I'm really proud of you and congratulations. I do feel like if you haven't started seeing this already, sorry, they're giving me messages too. Like a lot of great things are coming in for you very soon. I don't feel like this situation was necessarily like recent. It could be. Everybody's got like variations of different timelines. So whatever resonates, but yeah, I do think that this person does think back to you also. I want to bring that up before we end this reading. With the Mercury retrograde, that's always, and then Moon Soul. 12th house escape. Yeah. Grand Cross Provoker. Bro. Even if we want to do the part of fortune increase, that adds up to 9. Like, there was so much growth from this situation. Like I said, this situation just put you back into, I want to say, into cahoots with your higher self. Mercury retrograde, like I think that you have forced this person to really self-reflect. I think this person still thinks back to you. Do I think that they're at your level, that they've changed? Honestly, I don't think so, because of that selfishness. I think that this, and I think you know this, like this person was never going to be able to offer you what you were able to bring to the table. And so I do feel like it was divine protection and divine intervention at the time. No matter how things looked on the outside, that the things didn't go your way in this situation, or that you didn't have what you thought you wanted. And I think you know what that means now. So, but this person, I feel like they still check up on you. They still check up on you, and like I said, I just don't think that they can admit to themselves that they effed up. But this was something that was like so important to happen. Yeah. If this person ever tries to come back into your life, which I don't necessarily think that they'll even have the balls to reach out, because I do feel like now they always felt like, I think, intimidated by your light, your power, even if you couldn't see it at the time. But I also feel like they did this to try to level the playing field, like the what was it? The indiscretion and the entanglement, bro. Who remembers that? But I think now it's like you're in such an amazing place that it's like I don't even think that they would dare approach you, because I think it's like they can't even hold that. Like they can't even hold your vibration. It's like you don't even see them anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I feel like you guys might know what I'm talking about. Like, you ever notice like people that are not on the same vibration as you. And this isn't true for every circumstance, but I find that like people that are really far removed like from the vibration that I'm on, sometimes like literally people when I'm speaking or like going about my day, like these people literally won't even like see me. Like I really think that it's like they actually vibrationally like it's all, and it's almost subconscious. Like they can't even notice me. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm gonna talk to people and they're not gonna see I'm there, but I think it's like it's almost like there's like a fog over them. Like anybody ever read Percy Jackson? It's like there's a mist over them, and that's kind of how this feels like. You've elevated so much that it's like you guys aren't even in the same room anymore. And I think they definitely know that, but I don't think that their ego allows them to like fully admit that to themselves consciously. But I feel like now you wouldn't even like entertain this, so I'm really proud of you, Pile 3. But I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, drop me a big fat subscribe, please. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can become a YouTuber full-time, hopefully get monetized, and bring you lovely people, more messages, more amazing spiritual content, some fun things too. You know, I've got a bunch of tricks up my sleeve, so help me so I don't have to work for society anymore and I can work for you guys. I love you. See you in the next one. Bye. Hi, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading. This is about what does your ex think of you? I did put a disclaimer in the intro, and I'll run through it real quick before we get started. So basically, this message is for healing purposes only. Closure, anything that was left unsaid. For some, it might be like your ex's higher self coming through. If the ego is too large. So definitely keep that in mind. And also, if you feel like you're not in the right headspace to hear about this person or a particular person in mind, I definitely would say honor that. And maybe this reading isn't for you at this time. So, also drop me a subscribe and a like and a comment. Let me know if there's anything you want to see in the future. Anyway, let's get started. Okay. Spirit. I already shuffled these, but I'm going to shuffle them like 2 more times. Tap me into pile 4s. By the way, pile 4, like when I first was opening up, I heard, let's work, bitch. Like pile 4, let's work, bitch. So that's funny. But tap me into pile 4s. What does their ex think of them? Okay. What does pile 4's ex think of them? This is interesting already. I'm interested to see how this is gonna take shape. Spirit, what does pile 4's ex think of them? Okay. Yeah. What does pile 4's ex think of them? By the way, I'm drawn to tell you, if you see a card at the back of the deck while I'm shuffling and it is drawing you in, like that might be a message for you in and of itself. So I felt like I should say that. Bruh. Come on, guys. What does pile 4's ex think about them? Oh my gosh, I hear, if I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go. I keep you on my arm, girl. You never be alone. And I could be a gentleman Anything you want if I was your boyfriend. Damn, that's like hopping. I'd never let you go. Yo, what the hell, guys? This is some wild shit. Okay. 2 of Cups at the back of the deck. The fuck? Okay. Okay, before I even flip over all the cards, I had a message come through of like, I feel like they're breaking up because they're long distance. Yo. I don't know about all that. To you guys, okay, there's something here. To you guys, on camera, it looks like it's all facing you, which is weird. But to me, it looks like, no. Like, all of these freaking cards are reversed. Oh, shit. Okay, let me get into these before I completely bring that message through. It's weird. The only upright card is the 2 of Cups and the Empress. I almost feel like, okay, this situation might have gotten too hard. There might have been a lot of outside opinions on it. I'm not even gonna lie. This one, like, for some of you, this person might be in jail because we have Justice reversed. And like, there's no communication. There's no, like, this person, it just seems like they don't work. Like, they don't have a strong work ethic. They don't really have a lot going for themselves. Yeah. Let me see. Alright, Spirit. What does Pile 4's ex think of them? What does Pile 4's ex think of them? What does Pile 4's ex think of them? Okay. So weird. Emotionally, all upright. More psychologically and physically, a lot, like, most of them reversed. Interesting. Hang on. I feel like this person still watches you. Or no, honestly. Maybe it's like, hang on, I'm sorry. I'm having a really hard time bringing this through. And low-key, one of the messages coming through was not really nice. So I'm going to take the rest of the cards and then look at this as a whole, and we'll see what Spirit brings through about what does Pile 4's ex think about them, Spirit? What is Pile 4? Okay, well, that one just flew out of my hand. It's crazy because when I turned this at the back of the deck, they definitely wanted us to see that. Jupiter Abundance, Jupiter Return. Interesting. Let's see. What does Pile 4's ex think about them? This pile 4's ex think about them, Spirit? This pile 4's ex think about them? Did you have kids with this person? Like, is this your ex-husband? Huh. We have the father at the end of the deck. The back of the deck. The fuck? It's coming through two ways. And I'll explain why. Well, I'll explain which ways. For some of you, this person, like, was like, you know, this person was a great partner, very homely. They took care of the home. They were like more, it could be true for male or female, but they were like the feminine energy, like the divine feminine, like in the home, took care of things, could even be like mother of my children, like, but for some of you, it's like, you guys were very different. Like, you had very different ideas on what was I guess what a dynamic in a partnership should be. Very different. Because for some of these, it was like, this is like the message that was like mean, that I was like, damn, like I almost feel like they felt like, and this could be, like I said, male or female, like, they felt like you could have been, like, you could have put in more effort in the relationship. You could have communicated better. You could have worked a little bit harder. Because I don't feel like this is something, obviously, this is your ex. So, and this could be for men or women. So, obviously the father of your children is probably, like, that message is probably going to be for a woman, but it doesn't have to be. For some of you, there's so many different messages coming through on this one. For some of you, it could be like they didn't feel like they were able to keep up with, like, I almost want to say with your demands, like with what your expectations were. I feel like this situation, like, happened very quickly, and then, like, you didn't really know each other, you didn't know each other's values, you didn't know the dynamic very well, and I feel like I almost want to say, like, they care about you. They hold you in, like, some kind of, like, regard as, like, being valuable. But at the same time, I feel like they felt very drained by you. Damn, I'm sorry. Guys, I really don't like saying things like that, but it's coming through. So, and this is always, like, for our healing and growth and benefit. So, and also, like, I think I had said this in one of the piles, I don't even remember, like, a lot of things that happen in relationships, even though in a human 3D perspective, it's personal as fuck, like, from the ego and the mind, but spiritually, it's like nothing's personal, you know, like, and I will say this too, one of the biggest things that I've learned in my own experience that has really helped me put things into perspective is, like, a lot of the times, like, you could both be great people, because that's what I'm seeing here. You could be great people. This even was meant to happen. You know, you have the soulmate card here. But I don't think that this was, like, supposed to be something that lasted forever. And I think they knew that too. And sometimes it just comes down to, like, you're not compatible. Sometimes that's all it is. And like I said, this person, like I said, like, this person cares about you. They genuinely, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are still, like, in each other's lives, like, because of your children, or even, like, have come to like a good place, in a sense. to like, I don't know if it's like raise your kids or whatever it is, but it's like there's a lot of elements of like opposites, yin and yang, because we have Alethea, which is like yin and yang, balance. Two of Cups, which again, I see this as like soulmates, divine counterparts. So opposites, very opposite. Yeah. So like I feel like this person has a lot of love for you. Like they see the value in you, but I think that I feel like they thought maybe you both came to the same conclusion by the end of it, that you didn't have the same values and that you weren't compatible. That's what this feels like. But like I said, they do care very much about you. So also sorry if any of those messages hurt your feelings, because I'm like, damn, like I think that's why I had to take all the cards out, because I was like, are you sure, Spirit? But they're like, yeah, like just say it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe somebody needed to hear that. And I hope if you do hear that and it suits your situation, that it helps you. So also sometimes like it's hard for people to say things that are on their mind. So maybe you did need to hear that, like for closure. And I hope that that's really what it brought you. So Pile 4, I love you. Thank you for coming. Sorry some of the messages were a little yikes. But I do hope this helps, and I hope you got what you needed from it. Please don't forget to like, comment any video ideas that you want to see in the future. Subscribe. I love you, and thank you for coming. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully after that message. But I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 5. Welcome to your reading on what does your ex think of you. So, sorry, I got distracted. I actually was only planning on doing 4 piles. So, this was like a surprise for me. I looked at the time and I was like, oh, it's only like 12:15 in the afternoon, like, because Spirit was like, do another one, and then the song Greedy, I said, guys, don't be greedy, and then the song Greedy by Tate McRae started playing, so I was like, rude. Love her though. I've been like, oh, she's such an angel, literally. But anyway, this isn't about that. This is about what does your ex think of you? In the intro, if you haven't seen it already, I'm going to give you a quick rundown because I feel like this is important. This message is for healing. I was very reluctant to do it because I feel like it's not good to get stuck in a place of like ruminating, but I know we've all been there, and I just hope that these messages bring healing through and closure, and bring through maybe anything that was left unsaid so you could finally move on, if you haven't, or really if there's just, like I said, some things that have been left unsaid that you've always wondered about. Could even just be as simple as that. Use your discernment. If you're not in the right headspace to watch a reading like this, I would say maybe put it on the back burner and come back to it one day when you are ready. Maybe it's not meant for you right now, and that's okay. So without further ado, pile 5. You see how Spirit is? Oh, already they're like, yeah, this one gotta come through. Okay then. Spirit has been very interesting lately. I will tell you that much. Spirit, what does Pile 5's ex think of them? This is wild to me. Yeah. What does Pile 5's ex think of them? What does Pile 5's ex think of them? Oh shit. Oh, it's going down. It goes down in the DM. It goes down in the DM. Oh shit. Guys, these songs. Okay. No, Spirit. Give me 3 more. They're like, oh, they're fucking with me today. What does pile 5's ex think of them? Bro, if you guys give me another stack, I'm cutting the cameras. Give me 3 more. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because my spirit team, they're such smart asses. I said I'm cutting the cameras and look at the face on this card. They're so crazy. Okay, and then 1 more. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, me and them are in a weird place right now, so. Oh, shit. Okay. I'm not taking these, guys. They were like, yeah, 1 more time. 1 more time. They like to try the fuck out of me for real. Okay. Justice. All right, let's see what's up. Oh, wow. Wow, guys. Did you guys lose a lot of money together? That's like immediately what's coming to me. Like, you guys lost a lot of money together. I don't know if it was like gambling or like drug issues. I definitely feel like this has cleared up, or it's starting to, like, this situation is like healing. You're at the beginning of a new cycle. But I feel like you guys lost a lot of money together, or they lost a lot of money low key because of you. It could be also that you lost a lot of money because of them. So, sorry, don't take it personally if that's the first thing you heard. Wow. Hang on, I'm gonna get the oracle cards down too. Spirit, tap me into pile 5. What does their ex think about them? Dude, they be doing too much. New beginnings. Yeah, see, I said you guys are at the beginning of a new cycle. What does pile 5's ex think about them? Okay. I feel like, yeah, you might have, like, damn. Sorry, I'm not taking my shoes off. I'm not. Sorry, this is just, like, crazy. Spirit's giving me the tea today, like. What does pile 5's ex think about them? I feel like they see you in a good place right now. Like, I don't think they necessarily have, like, animosity towards you. But I do feel like maybe they were the one who, like, sabotaged this relationship. and they see you as like moving on and doing really well now. I feel like they have too. Like, I think if this was like some kind of addiction problems that they had, like they've definitely like started turning their life around. But I do feel like there is like a feeling of like regret. There's a feeling of like you moved on without them. And they kind of feel like they get it, but I also feel like they feel like this isn't fair in a way. Like I feel like they don't blame you, but they are still heartbroken over this, I think. Like, I do definitely feel like that song Miss Me When I'm Gone, I think from Anna Kendrick, is coming up. So I feel like that's kind of how they feel about you. Earth element stability. 12th house escape. These are reversed. Wow. Yeah, I feel like for a long time they were stuck. They know this though. Like, I don't think this is anything that they don't know or like admit to themselves. I feel like they might have even, honestly, when you started being together, they might have sold you a dream. Like, they might have like sold you a lie and made it seem like, oh my gosh, like everything's gonna be like this and that. Like, we have so much money, or I have so much money, or maybe they never directly said that, but maybe that's what like they kind of led you to believe, and like you ended up feeling trapped in the situation, and then you got yourself out of it. And I feel like they respect you for this. Like, they respect you for not sticking around, even though they feel like it, in a way, it wasn't fair, because I mean, I want to say that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like, you get what you give. And I think they are happy to see that you're doing well now. This could have been a twin flame situation. Dude, I'm telling you, like, some of the same exact themes are coming out in this reading. Like, there's so much 12th house energy. I don't like using the term twin flame, but people gotta understand too, that doesn't mean that you're gonna end up with that person. They're just somebody that if they exist, quote unquote, they force you to grow by acting like a mirror, and like they are meant to trigger us, whether it's good or bad. Okay, one more, and then Spirit, what does pile 5's ex think about them? What does pile 5's ex think about them? This was definitely a message that had to come through, though, because Spirit was adamant. Like, they were even like, pile 6. I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. But they really want this message to come through. Okay, we're going to, the nectar. The offering. I feel like this person might, like, try to make amends if they haven't already in the future. I don't know if I want to say get back with you, but I definitely do feel like they don't want to leave things like, they don't want to leave things like unresolved between you. I also feel like they always, you know, I probably already said this, they recognize your value. It was never about that. It was the fact that it was like, I almost feel like they were like delusional at that, like when they met you. Like, they were in a place where it was like, they kind of looked at you as like, what can this person bring to me? Like, how can this person heal me? How can this person be of like support to me? And like, didn't think about the fact that it takes two to tango, bro. Like, they have to show up in a relationship, and they were just not in a place where they could do that at all, for reasons I mentioned in the beginning. Like, so, but yeah, like, I think they also see this relationship now in hindsight, though, as I think they recognize all of these things because we have the earth element is stability. It's in reverse. So they knew like this wasn't, they know now like this just isn't something that could work, or like, you know, I think they're starting to come to terms with the fact that it went how it needed to go. I don't think that like they're completely like in that place of acceptance yet, but I think that they're getting there. So that was interesting. Wow. All right, pile 5. Thank you for coming, and thank you. Yeah. Sorry guys, sometimes when I channel, and lately this full moon energy has me like thrown up, and this is a little bit foggy, like this energy, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little kind of back and forth still. I think that's how they are in their head, truthfully. A little bit back and forth, not completely coming to terms with it yet, but I think they'll come around. And yeah, so I don't know if you guys are like, if you have a family together, but I think things will improve. You might want to check out the pile before this, because I think there was something about that. This feels kind of like a continuation of pile 4, so I love you, and I hope you got what you needed from this. And please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like, comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so hopefully they will monetize me and I could be full-time bringing these dank ass messages to you, and also more creative spiritual projects that are in my back pocket. So I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.